following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness, Last Orders, the podcast where we look back into the films our Hallmark favourite actors and directors would rather forget they were ever involved with. I'm Joe, and with me as always are my co-hosts, fresh out of prison after leading the police on a low-speed car chase after being caught spray-painting fish on every available flat surface. It's Barney.
I'm getting good at spraying fish now.
But you've had a lot of practice.
I can do blue lines and pink lines.
And residing in his mansion after investing all his money into the Asian rewritable DVD market, it is the animal cracker himself. It's James.
Spray Fish, now on DVD.
What was it? Was it called like Midnight Mass? It wasn't Midnight Mass because that's. But
Night Worship, I think it was.
It was something sexy anyway. And for the third time ever, we are joined by a guest. You may recognise him as one half of everything we have learned from The Simpsons, and you'll definitely recognise him as joint host of 100 Things We Learned from Film. He is the Chungwit, the Biff Boff, and the Puff Pastry Hangman. Please welcome the Mayor of Gentlemantown, Mr. Mark Plant.
Ahoy, hoy.
I thought that was a very good intro.
It's certainly better than anything I've ever had on my podcast, but then I do all the intros, so what do I know?
Very, very pleased to have you here, Mark. This is
delighted to be a long-term listener. I've been listening to this crap for almost a year now.
Yeah, that's about right. I'm sad we didn't get a better film for you, to be honest.
Well, look, Nat, you're just going to have me back for a better film, arguably.
Can't believe we missed the Jesus film. If you want to give us a follow on Twitter at Hallmark of Greatness, and we're on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Great, and there's email and that as well. This week's film, just straight into it, because unless you, yeah. Year 2000, classic Octopus.
It's just called Octopus.
It's just called Octopus.
That's all it is.
Not even Octopus, like with an exclamation mark. Just Octopus. Yeah.
I was very much led by the GIF that YouTube just sort of like recommends for this, which was just explosions. There's a lot of explosions for an octopus-based film.
Explodopus.
There is all of the missile launch footage and stuff is actual military footage of submarines firing torpedoes at each other and stuff. So it must be public domain because there's no way they've paid for it. Like they spent all the money on the CGI.
Yeah. This week at Pathé News, we're going to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Oh fuck! There's a big octopus.
There's barrels that don't roll right underwater.
that barrel specifically, and I know we're jumping ahead, but looked like one of those toxic candy barrel things.
Yeah.
You remember those things? It was always so tart that it made you do the
burning through the roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
Before we get into the film, James, your synopsis for Octopus.
Yeah, I didn't really have a lot to go on there apart from the word octopus. So I just kind of riffed it off last week's episode. So when a group of radical Christian students revolt against the legitimate but distemperate communist government, the world president, Brendan Fraser, has no choice but to enlist the help of a well-spoken octopus, Timothy Spall. Slap each and every one of them because they pose absolutely no political threat whatsoever but undermine efforts to suppress a pandemic. In the process of slapping 450,000 people and their Christmas trees, he discovers his long-lost uncles called Ian. Ian betrays the renegade sect for coin, and he and the octopus buy a yacht together and go sailing around Great Yarmouth every May bank holiday.
That was a mix of all films possible, huh?
It went on a bit of a journey at the end.
Better film.
I mean, Barney, did you look at the poster? Because
Well, the poster basically gives it away. A giant octopus attacks a cruise ship.
Yep.
No subtlety here.
But the tagline is, "Terror has never run so deep."
Oh, on my copy of it, it says "A Cruise to Hell."
Oh, that's way better.
Well,
But
it depends
neither
what
of those
emphasis
things.
you want to put on the cruise ship plot line. Because
That's like a tertiary plot line.
that came at like a glacial pace. I was wondering when it would come back into the story.
The actual synopsis is October.
Does it just say octopus?
Octopus. October 9th.
Octopustober.
1962. A Russian submarine was sunk and toxic barrels spread in the ocean. this can't be the actual synopsis because this is incredibly poorly written. 38 years later in Bulgaria, young CIA agent Roy Turner has arrested a dangerous terrorist, Casper. American authorities have decided to secretly repatriate him in a sub to the US where he has to be judged. The voyage is going well until a huge creature attacks the sub. That's not even got an octopus in it!
Don't want to give it away, do they?
But that sounds like
The
a political...
The title gives it away.
It's like reading the blurb and finding out exactly what's happening, isn't it?
No, but mate, right? There is a trailer for this, and it is a quality. Oh, it's a quality because there is a man. It's proper, yeah. And it's also by Trimark Entertainment.
Legend speaks of a creature that lives 10,000 feet below the ocean surface. It swims faster than any ship, and its arms are 10 times longer than you. But it's only a legend.
Everybody maintain your position.
Everybody hang on! One, sir!
Oh my God.
We're dealing with some kind of giant sea creature.
Bob, say your prayers.
You know how to pray, Mr. Bickman? Now's the time.
And hold your breath.
Mayday, Mayday. This is the SSN Roosevelt. We are down.
Get out of here! No! Oh my God!
It's that same bit of footage where it eats everyone again.
Could we not just have watched that trailer 5 times? I'd have had a lot more fun.
But that's not even got the subplot about Casper in it at all. Billy Casper.
I think what we're getting here is that you take what you want to from the film.
It's got something for everyone. It's got a big octopus. It's got Mrs. Doubtfire exploding a small girl. It's got a woman who takes her pants off at any opportunity to get them off, even when she's in mortal peril. And that's about it, isn't it, really? Like, there's also like a bit of, I don't know, like a political allegory in there, I think, with the bombings. It's never explained why he does the bombings.
No, it's not explained at all. I think we ought to just dive straight into this.
Should we dive?
Should we dive to dolphin depth? Which, it turns out, isn't a thing. No. So, yeah, we open on a Russian submarine.
My biggest disappointment here, Joe, I've got to get this out straight away. It's not a Russian sub unless there's a Scotsman that's the captain, as far as I'm concerned. I'm Russian, so I am. Always disappointed.
Yeah, it's set in 1962 in the middle of the Cuban Missile Crisis, and a captain there's a lot of like Pathé News stuff at the start, and they've got to deliver these bits of toxic waste.
Barrels that have toxic written on them, which
what was Castro going to do when he received these? Oh, thanks.
Just what I always wanted.
Another bit of the CIA plot to kill Castro.
The exploding cigar.
The pigeons failed, so
let's just use the big barrel of toxic goo and just. Oh no, it's shampoo for your beard, Castro.
I've been to Cuba and I don't mention it on every single podcast that I'm on ever.
But yes, it's just they're carrying these barrels. I think it's so he can make some sort of dirty bomb with them.
I'm guessing so.
Or some sort of weapon with them.
They're all very sweatily transporting this. It's a very sweaty film, which I assume
it's on a submarine, and I believe submarines are sweaty.
Yeah, but what I couldn't get my head around is that they were all at different stages of shaving. Like, surely they're at the same stage in that they've shaved and now they're at sea.
My beard doesn't grow as thick as other people's.
It's
this is like 2 weeks worth of growth.
No, but there's one man who's like really clean shaven. I don't think people do that.
It was his turn to use the bathroom that morning. I would assume getting water on board isn't particularly easy. I mean, it's very easy.
Very, very easy.
A hole in the side of it, as we discover later on. But
submarines breathe.
No, they don't. It's the people on them that.
But like, how do they get air? Because I've heard that like submarines can live underwater for like 6 months without surfacing.
They're not they're not creatures. What do you mean they live
No,
underwater? It's not the year 3000. Nothing's
don't get me
changed.
started on that.
Nothing's changed.
No,
And
right.
Russians live underwater.
They don't surface the submarine to get new air on board. So do they just have tanks of air and they ration it out, or
Is there not water, oxygen in water? So would they not like?
do they have some sort of filtration
out?
system? I don't know.
This is the wrong
Yeah,
podcast for that.
This should be my podcast.
Something with
All I know is those. I've just watched loads of episodes of Das Boat as a kid, and that's what I'm going on for historical reference for this film.
That's a diesel sub, and this is a nuclear sub. It's different
Nuclear. It's pronounced
nuclear, son. Because they had to have an exhaust because it's diesel.
Yeah.
So they had to vent it every so often, which you'd get little submarine trumps then.
I have to vent every now and again.
Yeah, everyone does.
It's what happens having a high fiber diet.
They go down so many meters in this submarine. And then I've just put, can you outrun torpedoes like that?
No, I think they do like a hard left, don't
Hard
they? Or
left,
is that,
yeah.
Is that later on? I was like, I don't think that's a thing
that's
underwater.
this bit.
No, it would be starboard or the other one, would it?
Port.
Can you even like, I don't know, can you pull like a U-turn in a sub, or does it just
A
gradually...
U-boat? Pull a U-boat.
Hey. But no, I just thought I'd like torpedoes not designed to like lock on to stuff.
I don't know. In 1962, it was
okay.
just, pull the trigger and hope for the best.
But I guess like they go faster than the submarine, so you're gonna have to be going at a fair old lick to be able to like do a barrel roll and outmaneuver them.
I'm pretty sure somebody says that the submarine's going at 2 knots, which is nothing.
No, they increase it. They increase it 2 knots.
As we know, you can buy a personal submersible vehicle that does less than
that goes
more
straight
than 2
down
knots.
at 2 knots. There's lots of watery sounds and shaking as they plummet, and all this nuclear waste, toxic waste stuff leaches out. And I thought there's no historical repercussions for that happening. The Americans opening
underwater,
fire,
so it doesn't count. That's maritime law, isn't it?
Just imagine them saying that at the UN.
Don't mind
water,
water
rules.
But the thing is, the Russian submarine explodes, but the barrels escape safely and softly roll down a hill that is clearly just a hill. It's not underwater in any way, shape, or form.
They've just put like kind of a grey scale on the picture.
A wavy thing. And then we get octopus. And I was like, okay, I'm on board with this. I'm like, it's going to be... Go on, me, all right.
No, it would be great if we actually saw an octopus at some point in the film. Is what I would really like.
It takes about an hour before we get to the octopus.
Yeah,
There's
the
a lot
titular octopus as well.
Not octopus. Yes.
There's a lot of Bulgarian anti-terrorism going on.
General horniness all round.
Yeah. I was really disappointed that this must have been filmed before Wesley Snipes had his big tax case, because Wesley Snipes wasn't filming in Sofia at the time, but everybody else was. Those Eastern European films that he made because he wasn't allowed to work in Hood.
Yep, he had to pay his IRS man back, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Even though he did time. I thought, is that not? You do the time and then you don't. But turns out. And then, literally, what the fuck is happening now? We were on a submarine doing cool explosions, and now we're having tea with the ambassador?
It's 38 years later in the capital of Bulgaria, Sofia, and it's Roy Turner talking to, I've put non-trade union John Goodman. Just had a bit of a John Goodman vibe to him.
Was that Henry?
Yeah.
That his partner that can outrun him, even though he looks like he's about 2 meatballs from a heart attack.
Well, he very much is like last day before retirement. He's got death written all over him.
I mean, to be fair, his death is splendid in its idiocy.
The wolf whistles a woman who apparently likes the attention down below.
It's different in Bulgaria, mate.
Clearly.
That's how you get the check. I've never been. I wouldn't know. I don't think it is. I don't think anyone appreciates that ever. And then an old lady comes in.
It's a man, baby.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought.
But doing, buy my pastries, little girl.
Just at the bottom, I've got.
I did write down spam and chips.
Barney, have you watched Most Hot Celebrity Hunted? Yeah.
Not the newest one.
Oh, because the Vivian's on it, and one of their ploys. I don't know how they identify. One of their partner to escape out of London is they spend a day dressing up like old ladies, right? This is genuinely a thing. They put like all the stuff on their face and everything, and like a shawl and everything, but they still walk like a bloke. So they just walk to the tube station, and the CCTV picks them up and goes, "Yep, that's them." It's like, masterwork there. The old lady gives a small girl a pastry. "That's for you, my precious," and leaves her bag and leaves.
Was it a pastry? Because it looked like a bag of meat.
It looked like slop. That's what it looked like.
It looked like a whole fillet of monkfish. She just slipped into her.
I'm not one to call other countries' delicacies. It could have been, to be honest. She said it was pastry, but. And then the child takes the bag over to her mum, who is parent of the year at this point, because she's going, "Mum, this bag's ticking." And like, there's smoke coming out of it. And she's like, "Barbara, go and sit down." Also, why do you smell like fish? Yeah.
At this point, Roy and Captain Death, Henry, they're outside after having sort of checked out the old woman and about 3 other women along the way. And there's a scene with the little girl as well that I'm not entirely comfortable with.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they see the old woman outside in the square looking a bit shifty, and then
just
an explosion
like
goes
a bloke at this point. Like, the ruse is up. The bomb is delivered. They've got out. He's like, "I'm Casper, #1 bomber in the world, apparently. And all it takes is some low-grade Mrs. Doubtfire nonsense, and I can get away with anything." But yeah, they get outside. The bomb goes off.
All those parasols.
White patio furniture everywhere. Like the England football team abroad. And then Casper runs off, still in his gear, and runs into what must be the annual old lady convention in Sofia, Bulgaria, because it's just full of ladies in babushkas everywhere.
Yeah. There was a lot of that. It was the perfect disguise. He knew what he was doing.
He planned it specifically for that day.
I did have a matchmaker make me a match moment at this point, I'll be honest.
But I did like that Roy was just slapping old ladies. "Oh, it's not you, sorry, love."
There's a lot of shooting, and Roy confronts him. And does anybody know what he says at that point? Or how he says it, I should say.
I can only remember the last line he says to him, and we'll get to that when we get to that.
He just sort of affects a British accent, even though he's supposed... I don't know, I think he's supposed to be Russian, but he's like...
There's a lot of dodgy accents in
Casper or Roy?
Casper.
I think Casper is sometimes Russian.
Yeah.
And sometimes not, depending on how...
He's from Birmingham, you know.
Because looking at his IMDb, for a lot of his early career, he is Russian Goon 7.
Yeah. He is actually Russian.
Yeah, I know he's actually Russian.
Yeah.
But
he's in GoldenEye, he's in all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. He says something like, "I think not, my friend, not in this lifetime," and then like disappears. Henry...
Lady smoke bomb.
He gets into a car and Henry shoots the car, shoots it until it flips into traffic.
No,
and
he's got changed at this point, and he's dumped his gear, which he had an extra bonus bomb in there.
Yeah, he does. He has a bonus, but he always carries a bomb.
He has a bonus. Everyone, you should always carry a bonus bomb. You'll never know when you need it. He dumps it by the side of this car. Henry puffs and pants his way over to it while like smoking and having a bacon sandwich. Opens fire on him. Casper turns round and goes, "Ha ha ha ha!" And then Henry looks down at this bomb and just goes, "Wah." He was like, just how the gypsy woman said it would end.
There was a couple of bits that I took extreme objection towards. All this plastic furniture, when the bomb blows up, it does about 35 quid's worth of damage. I did notice that. And then your man nearly gets Alan Bradley'd by a tram at one point, which was having nearly been killed twice in Manchester by always looking the wrong way when I'm crossing the road. It's just the standard. I mean, it won't be an issue for you, of course, but as an outsider, for me, I've been nearly killed by a tram about 100 times.
Not an issue for us because they're never bloody running. That's found out yesterday.
Northern public transport chat.
Yeah. It's fine.
Here first, GM authority.
Yeah. Metrolink. So instead of trying to expand your network, make your current network work first. Stop doing engineering works constantly. Do them at night when no one's on the damn thing.
I couldn't give a shit about going to Oldham. Sort it out.
No. The only reason you go to Oldham is to leave Oldham. I don't know what the budget for this was actually. Oh, it says no.
Yep.
There's another section with a cart of watermelons that get in the way. I was like, my biggest enemy, a cart of watermelons.
If there was 2 guys with a pane of glass going backwards and forwards.
A painting of Jabba the Hutt. Yeah.
But yeah, he shoots the car, Henry, in his just exploded rage. Roy goes over to him and he's like, "No, Henry, 2 days from retirement, we bought you a watch." And he's like, "Ah!" He shoots it. For some reason, the car is made of explosions.
Yeah, Bulgarian cars are just terrifying.
Yeah, it explodes. It crashes into the big. As soon as I saw it swerve to the left, I was like, "Watermelons, this is happening." It flips, catches fire, and Casper is stuck inside. Roy runs over, rescues Casper, and then we get a cool car explosion, which I'm always a fan of. And then, he arrests him. Leaves Henry for the crows.
He's dead now. Done.
He died doing what he loved, shooting cars like a dog with a gun. And then we find out that they're going to repatriate Casper to America to stand trial for, I'm assuming, doing other bombings in America.
And they're going to transport him by submarine.
Yeah, because reasons. Fuck knows
Isn't
why,
there
innit?
one close by or something?
Yeah, I think so. They say something about how there's this discredited submarine captain called Shaw nearby.
Why was he discredited?
Because he ran his submarine aground.
But why did he do it?
I can't remember now.
It was to catch a boatload of Iraqis.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
Gulf
like,
War or something.
They could have been refugees?
He had to let them go, which suggests that it wasn't legit.
What? He got a bronze star for it. He got a medal. So whether it's most submarines crashed in one lifetime, a medal. That's
How many
it unlocks like a
submarines
Steam
do you need to
achievement.
smash to get a gold one? That's the question.
I'm not made of submarines.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
then there's
understand how fast do submarines go.
I don't think very fast.
To get
But
from
not as fast as a battleship or something
to
like
get
that.
from Bulgaria to America, you've got to go all the way around or through the canal.
You go under the countries. That's how it works. You go under the continents. I mean, come on, Joe. Do you not know how the sea works? Have you not seen those Godzilla films? They've got little holes that they go through.
I just think, wait for the plane.
Yeah.
And
It's got
invest,
an airport.
and invest in something better than some handcuffs as well. If this guy is a mad bomber, don't take him in an enclosed environment where there is no escape. That is a submarine. And if you are going to, proper, what's he called? Hamilton the Butcher? No.
Bill the Butcher.
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. What? Hamilton the Butcher.
I couldn't think of his name.
I've got you some lovely cutlets, Clarice.
Yes. Proper lash him down, put a thing on, put him in a cage. Not just...
Don't put a man that is known for blowing stuff up on a nuclear armed thing.
Yes.
Just don't do
keep
it.
him away from...
Leave him
nukes.
unattended near a load of ketchup.
Put him on that raft, for the Tom Hanks raft with the volleyball. Do that. Put him on that and hope that he gets there.
Yeah. So they get him on this submarine. The Jack Shaw, apparently, they're letting him run out his military service by just tooling about in a submarine, I think.
There's also a bit where he meets Captain Shaw, and they have an incredible, it's a very ill-chosen shot because they're face to face.
There's
it's
a
almost,
lot of
it's almost
bizarre
passionate
shots in this film.
Yeah, they're talking to one another 2 inches away from their nose. It's a bit weird.
Smith and Jones sketch.
But yeah, it's you're going to kiss him on the nose or something.
Oh, do it. That'd have been good.
It's be like you've never kissed anybody before.
And then there's a game of strip poker going on.
Yeah. So apparently this is just a party submarine where everyone's just partying constantly, even though it's a military submarine and it is nuclear. Then
yeah.
But just in the command room, they're just we're introduced to.
This is before the War on Terror, isn't it? They just didn't care back then.
No, 2000. When did?
2001?
Oh no, 2001. Of course.
Strip poker for the boys, then, isn't it? Yeah.
Captain Shaw introduced him as a new baby. Is the new babysitter? Yeah,
yes,
that was a bit
and
weird.
he keeps calling him special agent, which he isn't a special agent.
I mean, I would have just accepted that.
But it's done in a condescending way, isn't it? It's like if someone said to me, "And here's handsome Joe," I'd be like, "There's no need to be like that, mate." It's just done out of spite, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
But we're introduced to Dr. Lisa Finch, or Hot Babe.
As
per the tradition or the old charter, who is on the submarine to go and investigate the Devil's Eyeball.
Devil's Eye.
Devil's Eye,
Yeah.
which is an area of the sea where all these ships have gone missing with no real explanation. Fair enough. Why send a party submarine unless it's to get rid of them? Like, put all the shit people on this submarine. Because we're introduced to Brickman as well.
He's the one playing poker, yeah.
He's the one playing poker with him. And I've never known a game of poker this intense in my entire life.
Stop your grinning and drop your linen. That's what he says.
Yeah, which is completely stolen from Aliens.
It is. He also says when he thinks he's won, ooh, it's titty time, which I didn't like.
No, not the way, because she has like a royal flush or something and then just starts tugging at his pants. And I was like...
She takes her straps down, like, oh, you've beat me. And I'm like, is this allowed on American military service things?
I think it's expected in the American military.
I don't know. I know that I don't want to get into it, but I know a lot of stuff goes unreported. And I don't think, like, aggrandizing it is a good idea. Even though she isn't military, she is an oceanographer.
She also has a Russian accent during the poker game.
She does. It's very odd.
Yeah.
I thought that was because they were drinking, but no, they weren't. They were
I was
just.
very confused later, and I went, "Oh,
Yeah.
is that the same woman?"
They were just
She doesn't
giddy on
sound like
poker.
a Lisa Finch.
No, she should be like a
Finchkoff.
Alexei Finchkova. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think this is one of those Birdemic sort of situations where the film is filmed over a number of months and they forget what they did last week. It's filmed over a number of weekends. And was I doing Russian
Do you think
accents
she's
last
just
week?
been in Bulgaria too long or something?
No, I think she went, I'm going to do a
Acclimatised.
Russian accent and then just couldn't be asked keeping it up as it went on. It's difficult.
I've
Gotta
got to
make
be
it more
honest,
fun.
I got my first adverts here, which I think I did quite well on YouTube. And my adverts, we're going to have a couple of advert breaks if that's all right. I got Zoopla.com, which really fucked with my chi, being an auctioneer. And Judge Judy. Apparently Judge Judy now, you can only watch Judge Judy on IMDb. And she looked younger than ever. I mean, actually, I thought she could smash a gavel into me. Potentially, if that's a thing. I don't know.
Judy? She's
Judge
still
Judy
going.
on IMDb. IMDb.com, you can watch new episodes of Judge Judy because that's what is wrong with film websites these days. They've all got to put their own content out.
Judy?
Judge Judy, yeah.
And there's still
fitter than ever.
lawnmower-based crimes that need reporting.
Well, yeah. Read up on Judge Judy.
She must be like 1,000,000 years old by now.
She looks probably 60 at the eldest.
She just had it all pulled right back.
It's like Homer with the pegs at the back of
bulldog
the
clip on the back of his head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I've just opened up how I feel about Judge Judy. I think it's women with power. I think that's what it is. I think it's women with power.
There's power over like a municipal court. It's not like a high court judge, is it?
Yeah,
the
but
most she can allow is like $1,000.
God, that's a lot
Who's
of money,
that?
though, Joe. It's a lot of money in Cumbria.
Who's our equivalent? Judge Rinder.
Oh, he's not even a judge. Judge Judy, he's actually a judge. He's a QC, Judge Rinder, so he's a liar.
He's kind of fit as well, though, isn't he? Let's be fair. So, you know.
He reminds me of that Ryan Mark off The Apprentice. No. Is that
But
Have
he's
you
got
watched-
galactic right, though.
Sorry. Have you watched The Apprentice yet, Barney? Because it was good this week, weren't it? Yeah.
Even I know there's 2 C's in Arctic.
I also know that penguins don't live there. And I'm not Chris Packham. Sorry, I'll cut all that. I won't.
I don't think you should.
You
know
never
what
do.
You know when I say, let's keep it tight, like, so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
And then we've got Judge Judy and Chris Packham, and yeah, it's fine. Don't
There's
worry
your
about
clip. him taking a spade to some badgers. That's your clip.
Moving on.
Right, okay. So Roy gets introduced to Dr. Finch, who immediately starts undressing him with her eyes. And she mentions that 27 ships have gone down over the Devil's Eye. Yeah. And it makes the Bermuda Triangle look like a duck pond. Old sailors have myths about sea serpents, that sort of thing.
Right.
And then she offers up her own bunk for him.
Yeah, she's permanently on the horn. I reckon she's worked through all the other rest of them.
It did have a feel
and
of
that's
that.
fine, like, as long as it's consensual. But it's the horniest submarine in the military. It's worse than, like, what's it, Periscope Up with Kelsey Grammer, this.
Just so she can get her pants off again.
She never keeps them on. Literally, they're on some man's head. When she walks off, she goes, oh, and my pants. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. That was that other guy, wasn't it?
That's the coward that
Yeah.
I think kills himself.
Yes.
Right. I wasn't sure what happened because he just goes and hides behind some netting, and then it's just like close-ups of his face. Okay, I don't. Yeah. But yeah, she's permanently on the bunk for him, and he's like, "No, I'll just bunk with the lads." And she's like, "No, you fucking won't. It's fresh meat."
In many ways, she was a forerunner of the octopus.
Also, did you, like, as a child, did you think the Bermuda Triangle was going to be more of a problem in your adult life than it
Oh
actually
yeah,
is?
definitely. You don't hear about it anymore.
That and quicksand. Like, I'm terrified of quicksand. I've never even seen it in adult life, ever. But the amount I heard about the Bermuda Triangle as a child, I was
No
it
more
was a
about
big-
the
big thing about it.
rhubarb triangle than the Bermuda Triangle.
As a man that grew up in the rhubarb triangle, I'm a big fan.
Does rhubarb go
I
missing
was
there a lot?
forced up. I was forced up.
Forced up.
We can hear you grow in the dark.
Popping in the dark. But that's another issue that my wife's got with me. So what can you do about it?
Roy interrogates Casper. The submarine dives, goes to investigate this stuff. Apparently, they've got time to do that. No one's in any rush to get Casper back to justice.
Having a pal about.
He babbles on about stuff and who will regret this and things like that. And then we're treated to a nice footage of a woman crossing a zebra crossing in Bulgaria.
We've got this B-roll footage, mate. We're using it. We've got to pad this out to 90 minutes. Is it even 90 minutes?
She goes over to a newsstand and he gives her like I don't know, like a News Weekly thing, and it's got pictures of Roy and Casper and the submarine.
Yeah, so they've been snapped getting onto this submarine, and they know where it's headed somehow.
America.
Yeah, but
land.
You know, like there's a long, like the ocean's big, isn't it? So like, there's a load of ways you can get
Pretty
there.
big.
Under Africa, you know, around it,
Over it, you can jump. You can jump with a ramp.
Onto those Super Mario tubes, and it goes down and then along.
Absolutely, you can
If you
jump
do like an African
eight.
queen sort of thing and dismantle the submarine and carry it. Yeah. But they're like, oh, they'll be here. We're gonna on this cruise ship that's gonna rendezvous with it. There's a load of sleeper agents, like
A load of them, yeah. Loads
like
of goons.
literally 50% of this cruise is sleeper agents. It would appear.
Did you clock this guy that was selling the magazines? He had this Krishna haircut.
Oh yeah, I did see that. It made him look like a plumbus.
Yeah, he did a little bit. Yeah, I was expecting him to shout "Garanga, be happy."
But and they're like, and then he hands her like a National Enquirer, and that's got the ship and like the manifest on it or something.
All the information that they'll need.
Which
I didn't understand how these two things are going to link together, but
don't worry about it.
Yeah, in hindsight, the submarine, Casper's going to break out of the submarine and
Yes.
get to the cruise ship when all the goons are going to kill everybody and then explode the ship, including
Yes.
themselves, because they don't care about life.
They're prepared to explode themselves, but it's a last ditch option. Like
It's
if there's
definitely going to
there's
happen.
no room on the hovercraft, then yeah, all right, yeah. But see, it was the fact that like they won't reveal themselves to the last second, and they were all walking right, going, "All right, comrades." It was like, it's not.
I thought it was quite promising, that bit. I was looking forward to some cruise ship action.
Up to this point, we're like, 30 minutes in. Where's the octopus? When are we getting to
On the cruise ship,
octopus
he's a
factory?
passenger. He'll reveal himself in due time.
Oh man! If it turns out that Casper's nickname was the Octopus, I'd have been into that.
Yeah.
But the film's called
that would have
Octopus.
genuinely been
and
interesting.
We'll never get into the Octopus factory. That's the problem.
The octopus is a very literal octopus that exists out there
Inside all of us.
in the Devil's Eye.
Ain't it?
I've been to the Devil's Arse. It's it's in a cave in
Well,
I
of
think
course
it's
it would be.
Derbyshire.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it makes a farting noise or something whenever it fills up with water.
I can only assume they sent party. It is a real thing. James is absolutely right. I can only assume they sent the party sub to the Devil's Eye because that's the only way the devil can get really fucked up now is by dumping toxic waste into the Devil's Eye because he just can't take it, in his stomach.
it's like
anymore. It's like shots. Yeah.
No, is
Eyeball Paul. Yeah.
Is it Kevin and Perry? No.
Eyeball Paul.
Is it?
Eyeball Paul.
Yeah. I just think it was they wrote 3 films, only had the budget for 1, and combined all 3 of them together. Because you've got
and didn't come out with a whole film. Didn't come out with anything new.
They leave. Go on.
They've got the captain's family as well, just for good measure.
Yeah, I was going to say, how will we know the captain will agree with us? And then they just phone up the bridge. I think goes, can I speak to the captain, please? Yeah, all right. No, who is this? It's like, I think it's your mum.
Belly sales.
And they go, what is it? We're watching you do what we say or they die. And then he's like, there's just some stare into camera, like right down the barrel. And then, yeah, that's that. So we know how the captain's gonna, because literally later on, when the ship corrects course to rendezvous, he just goes, yeah, I plotted a new course. And everyone's like, okay, captain, that's a thing that you can do, apparently. I think, isn't that captain just basically like a like a perfunctory
I
role.
got it the other way. They're all like, "Why have you done that, Captain?" And it's like, "Well, I'm the captain. It's new course. Bad weather.
Found a shortcut.
Eels. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything. I'm the
But
captain."
I assumed captains were just there to like greet people and have dinner with them. I didn't realize they actually had a role. I thought it was like a head of the table sort of thing. Like,
It is a head of the table thing. Having watched a lot of Below Deck recently, they work with the first officer and the chief engineer, so he's not just on his own.
right, okay.
He can't make all the decisions.
So it's like a
No.
committee to drive a boat.
Yeah, but he's the main guy.
Right. But he
It's
can't pull
marginally
right.
different when it's a starship, though. Marginally different.
No, Below Decks is the horny boys on a yacht, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was mistaking it for the Enterprise.
No.
cartoon.
This is based in reality. This is just, yeah. So, like, he can't just be going, like, oh, we're going to go to Panama now, because you can't just, like, it would have to, other
No, 'cause
people
they
would have to
don't
ratify
apply.
it.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Having recently watched the Poseidon Adventure for an episode of our podcast, plug.
Get 'em in there.
We discovered that the captain has very little power because there's a money man on the ship at all times going, "You're going to go a bit faster," and he's like, "You bastard! I can't go faster. She's a terribly old boat, and it's her last day before retirement. Just going to go faster, okay?" And then she gets sunk, and everybody fucking dies. So
It's that episode where I learned that big lever doesn't do fuck all.
Oh, it does now. It just it's conversation. It's just chat. We're having a chat with downstairs.
Yeah, it's just like, can you go a bit faster, please?
Yeah.
But they've got that tube. It's like, engine room, hello. That's just like, if you want to ask them what, like, do they want some crisps or something?
Just put them down the pipe. Yeah.
That's,
Great.
that's exactly what you do. You
Oh,
take
man.
one cup attached to the string.
Cheese
You do that.
footballs would go right good down there.
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah, they would.
Oh,
Yeah.
they would. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. As long as there's not a kink. You
No,
put
Yeah,
it
that's what
roll.
Watsits are for. Instantly shaped for that.
You
You
put chipsticks in there, they're getting stuck on a bend, right? But
Anyway,
you got to get a hamster in there and munch them all
not
up.
anyway. Why is this not the podcast? Go on, Joe. There's an idea for a new podcast.
I've got a good idea, actually. I need to pitch
What?
to you.
I got a second. What do
I
you mean
need to-
that isn't a good idea?
I need to pitch to you. No, I've got a very good. After your bizarre spaces rant the other day, I've got a very good idea for a podcast for you
Okay.
and other people. Anyway, yes. Where were we?
there's a clip of some frightened fish as a sort of
Oh, this was
interval.
yeah. I think this is like some Jack Cousteau footage or something, isn't it? Because
Was this not Shark Tale? I expected
they're
one of
real
them
fish.
I expected one of them to turn up and go, "We're cooking at the car wash."
Oh,
Something
Christ.
about Will Smith's car wash, yeah.
still not as bad as there was 3 of them that came out at the same time. There was Finding Nemo.
That one, Finding Nemo.
There was Shark's Tale.
And there was the Christian one. The Christian
it was like the
fish one.
Bay or something, and it like the animation wasn't finished in it. And anyway,
Yeah,
rented
that one,
as well.
by the way, has got Martin Scorsese as an actor in.
For fuck's sake.
Martin Scorsese playing himself as a fish.
And there was also Titanic: The Legend Continues.
No.
Of course.
With the rapping dog.
Barney's furious that you've
No.
reminded her.
See episode number 30. of the
Right.
podcast.
Wow, you guys remember the episode numbers of your podcast. That's amazing.
No, James
does.
has written them all down on a piece
All
of
right,
paper.
okay. James, have you got one of these charts that's got string attached to all the others?
Yeah,
Great.
the Pepe Silver stuff
The
behind it.
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Roy witnesses Dr. Horny taking off her top accidentally, and then she
Sat
just
there
drops a
in-
bra.
Yeah, he sat
Not
there
subtle
in
about
his in their shared room,
He's furiously trying not to think about sex in the
and
corner.
he's doing some writing or typing or something, and she just comes in and is like, "Wow, dude."
Well, hello.
Yeah. Hey, I heard 73 ships went down around here. Wink. And you're like, oh god, how long have they been on this thing?
3 days by that point. So
Oh,
I remember thinking
apparently after 3 days everything's legal at sea.
it's like international waters, isn't it? But I imagine when you go down, then it sort of magnifies.
Handsome George, what have they done to your face?
He ain't so handsome no more.
But yeah, she comes in, she takes her clothes off, wraps a towel around herself, brushes her teeth, and then just
Throws a shoe at him.
throws a shoot for no reason. He wasn't being
It's marking
obnoxious or
territory,
anything.
isn't it?
Honestly, who throws a shit?
Had a slash on him. I don't know. But yeah, brushes the teeth, goes, and then goes like, "Oh, it's yours now." And I'm like, "It's 4 PM." Like, why are you going to bed? But I guess it's.
Because 3 days have passed. I thought those must be like the 3 tensest days. He must be well fed up of her by now. She's like that all the time.
permanently on. Yeah. It's like you're
Anyway.
trying to sleep and she just wake up and she's breathing on you. And, yeah.
And
Also,
then
at
there's-
no point is anyone checking in on Casper. He's been locked in the ketchup supply cabinet. for 3 days now, right? With only broken ketchup bottles to survive on.
Sudden drama, though, because the ship rocks and then he lands face first into a chest. And then there's alarms and there's talk about how it affects the upper and lower, which are apparently two different parts of a submarine.
That doesn't sound good.
I'm no submarine expert, but...
I know it shouldn't be banging around the place. Day one of submarine school, don't crash into shit because you're underwater. Yeah,
I got submarine schools, like police academy.
Celtic drama. So they get dressed and run up to the bridge, and the captain's like, "Oh, you finished your nap?" Yeah, why are you such a dick? Like,
Because he's the captain.
He's never explained why he's.
Because he fancies her, that's why.
But does he think that he's on some sort of top secret mission? Because all he's doing is spinning round and round the devil's eye, like doing donuts. If you can do handbrake turns, you're going to be doing donuts, wheelies, endos, all the moves.
Casper uses this to slip out of his handcuffs with a mixture of rapid breathing and sweaty pluck.
Oh no, he dislocates his hand.
Yeah,
which
and
I
then
thought
sucks on his wrist
pretty
afterwards.
Good. No, and then he bites into it to thingy the pain.
Yeah,
I've got to be honest. If I could have dislocated my wrist, I'd have never got married. It's very simple. Very simple.
It's my sister, that Mark.
Sorry.
You heard what?
Just a normal, fantastic podcaster in my eyes.
If you just sit on it until it goes numb.
No, stop it. That's your sister.
Stop it now.
You've seen the in-betweeners. Mum wants to listen to this. I was like, no.
No.
You can listen to the nice one.
What nice one? I listen every week.
No, weird thing about
the cult joining one.
Weird thing about that's quite nice, and you learn something as well. So it's like how to, but with occasional swearing
and no Gaz top.
I've met Gaz anyway.
Yeah, I know you have. We've had this conversation. Fucking hell, sorry.
He was wearing a leather kilt.
Yes. What? Nobody was always wearing a leather kilt. That's like saying, "Oh, hang on a second. I've met Frankie Boyle. He was swearing and calling somebody a pedo." In fact, we're talking submarines, and at no point have I said maybe you are a pedophile.
Torpedo. Anyway,
sorry.
Yeah, he's escaped from this. He's escaped. Let's get back on the fucking film. Jesus. Yeah, he breaks his hand free, and then it cuts away, and they're like, "Oh, something's hit us."
Let's send out 2 divers to go and investigate outside.
Well, we've took damage. We don't know what it was. Like, it could have been a whale, like just banging into it, or thinking it was another whale. And I don't know what.
It's like with aircraft, like birds get sucked into the engine.
Bird strike. It could have been like whale strike.
Dolphins just got churned up in the nuclear.
They were at dolphin depth, so
it was all about the whales and the dolphins.
Yeah.
Would it not have come up on that little bing?
Well, no, because only at this point do they go activate sonar, and I was like, there's not like a fucking viewing port. You're like left a bit, Ken. You can't.
Sometimes
see
I think they refer to it as radar as well.
Yeah, they do refer to it as radar and sonar interchangeably, and I'm like, not the same thing. Themes of gravity. But they send out 2 divers to try and fix the damage because the rudder, the left and right rudder, I think, because I think they've got an up and down and a left and right. Yeah,
and an interstitial rudder, and a meta rudder that controls all the other rudders.
Because to go left, you have to have a left and right rudder, and to go up and down, you have to have a up and down rudder. Yeah, no,
yeah.
Does that make sense?
I don't know. We've established we don't know anything about submarines.
For an episode that's about submarines, I expected someone to do some research into submarines, and then I thought, nah, it's better if you don't know. Yeah, so they have to go out and fix that. I think the left and right rudder because they go up and down.
Yeah, it said that something's tried to open it like a tin can or something like that.
So they send out what is it like? Oh, it's like Gonzalez and something else. And they go out and they're like, turn the cameras on. And I'm like, you're at dolphin depth. You wouldn't be able to see anything. Like the light doesn't penetrate this far down. So all you'd be able to see is how far the torch goes. Yes, and also they just
absolutely.
You just disturbed all this water around it.
They just do that purely to sexualize the people that have gone out because they're like, oh, you look good on camera, sort of thing. And it's just that over and over again. That's what
the important thing to remember is that Gonzalez is Hispanic and as such expendable. Simple as that. That's how these things work.
Different coloured jumpers, and
it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to go because because I think Brickman, who was the guy who was taking his pants off during the strip poker game, he thinks the ship is his girlfriend. Because Gonzalez is like, okay, I'm going to go see if I can fix it. I'm going to have to hit your girlfriend. And he's like, oh, she's into that or something. And I was like, what is happening? Like, cover your ears back. But yeah, it's just, The Horny Navy is an offshoot of the regular Navy, where they just put all the people that failed how to be, what was it, Confessions of a Navy Man with Robin Asquith as a reference.
Roy tells Captain Shaw to radio for help, but he doesn't want to for no reason whatsoever.
No, never explained why.
And then Dr. Horny gets into grief with 2 officers as well because she wants the sound files of the thing that they heard.
Yeah, he plays one of them, and it sounds like a dolphin.
Yeah, Yeah.
And then he goes, it sounds like nothing we've ever heard before. Yeah.
You are at dolphin debt. Yeah. You are going to hear
It should be a layer of just constant dolphins bombing past. But no. And he's like, it's nothing I've ever heard before. Give me that file. And he's like, oh, okay. Let me just put it onto this big clunky drive. And then Gonzalez and, let's say, Martinez, because it doesn't matter, does it? No one remembered their names, are like, oh, there's something out here. And then for an octopus that murders people pretty quickly later on, it takes its time with this. Like, it slaps them about tenderized meat. Yeah. And then it does the same dive like 3 times onto them as well, because we're only paying for VFX shots. And then they're dead. We get a good bit of blood in the water. Captain Shaw's like, come back in, lads. Can you get out of a submarine? Is there like a pressure hatch, like an airlock? But
yes, but you can't get back in. That's the thing. So there's getting out in an emergency, but coming back in, kind of. But getting back in is the issue. So there's a kind of an airlock to get out. Coming back in is a problem. I did read up on this, but it was all very kind of mixed messages. Getting back in isn't the thing.
They just have to surface with Gonzalez and Martinez holding onto the side of the ship like Indiana Jones, and so they can open up the top hatch and come on, lads, you're right.
And there's like no ticket.
Casper takes advantage of all this commotion to kidnap an officer who's in there with him, and
Roy comes in. His job as well.
Really shit. And this sort of thing happens a lot in that he captures somebody and holds like a shiv to the throat, and then Roy comes in with a gun and says, "No, don't do that." And then he escapes out of it because Roy won't ever shoot him.
Just shoot him.
He doesn't even know how to work
your
the gun.
rights.
Yeah.
Like, you're an American federal agent. Just go, he resisted arrest.
He was about to stab somebody in the throat. That's
Roy celebrates at the end of this film, and yet he is guilty for the death of Henry and at least 2 other officers on that boat.
Yep. The captain
doesn't even get the satisfaction of it himself either.
The captain and Brickman plan something that I didn't quite fully understand, but it was to, like, go along a channel, like
so they're gonna dive into a trench and lure this thing behind them, drop remote controlled mines, and then explode it because they don't know what it is yet. Dr. Sexy has said that it is a big underwater animal.
From that dolphin noise, I conclude
it's a giant fucking dolphin,
and it lives underwater because that's where we are.
And so they follow this plan. They do the thing. It explodes. Your man goes, "Oh, it's gone off the sonar radar, sir." And maybe that's why it went off the radar, because they're underwater and it doesn't work. And he's like, "Great, I'm great. Told you that'd work. Let's all high five." And then he goes, "Oh, hang on a minute. Nah, you've just made it angry."
and it was at that point where I was getting really kind of slightly getting into the film. I got another advert break.
Oh, go on.
Furious. The timing. Every now and again, 3 seconds till an advert break. We got Hollywood Bowl, which looks like the kind of place dads take their kids if they're only allowed to see them on a Saturday, and get absolutely hammered whilst the kids throw the balls all over the place. Jabra headphones. Do you remember Jabra headsets? Remember Jabra headsets when you used to have a Bluetooth headset before you had a speaker on your phone? Yeah. But I'd written here for some reason Jabba headsets, which is a very different Star Wars related headset. Jabra no bata. And glowworm boilers, which I prefer the toy that used to chip kids' teeth with the heads.
Oh, yeah.
Glowworms, a little bit older than everybody else, I think.
I remember them, yeah.
And finally, I got 4 adverts this time. Some anime film about a pink-haired girl for sweaty virgins.
There is that film, My Octopus Teacher, isn't there?
Oh,
and
there
is? That's what Google kept suggesting instead. I don't know what it means.
Have you watched it?
I've not watched it. It's supposed to be good.
Is it My Sexy Octopus Teacher?
That sounds like one of those games you used
I think
to
that
play
might be
Fridays.
the German.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
knockoff.
I was expecting that you would date this character, and at the end, he turns out to be an octopus. I mean, Joe has a Twitch. He doesn't use it anymore, but he's got one. It's there.
I'm planning on using it this weekend.
Well, I'm planning on not being there. It's fine. I'm in the pub.
Fine, we're doing Mario Kart of Champions.
Fine, I might do it in the pub.
That's your option.
That would be... I'll pick many a bean.
Right, so we had adverts.
Yes, sorry, no, we're done with adverts, sorry.
Much like the YouTube, it does disrupt the flow of the film.
I just got HelloFresh ones. That's all I ever got.
I get one for I did get the Nigel Farage one the other day.
What's the Nigel Farage one?
Oh,
I'm a cunt.
Basically, yes.
Is it the one where he tries to sell you sort of like bonds or something like that?
He's trying to sell you
bonds.
No, at no point has Nigel Farage ever been labelled a domestic terrorist.
I know recently someone got him to say up the Ra, but I didn't realise that he'd gone full.
No. It's for him to give you top secret financial advice.
Well, he can't win an election. Why would I listen?
It's a grift, isn't it? That's what he do.
Is he selling pictures of monkeys?
Oh, fuck off. Moving on. I don't even want to...
Casper Shivs, he kills the man.
Roy comes in and he's like...
Fights Roy.
Put him down. And he's like, no. And then stabs the guy. And I'm like, he could have done that. Right, because if I was Casper, I'd have killed the guard and then hid behind the door. And then when Roy comes in, just pop him on the head, innit? Not this because it's not like it's a cat and mouse game. It's not like, oh, you've tracked me across the world and here I am. He literally stumbled across him as he was giving out fish to a child. I don't understand. They're trying to make out that they're like the Joker and Batman level of you can't survive without me. And I'm like, Roy is terrible. Like how he got through the training to be a special agent.
He's not.
Nepotism, I'm guessing.
Anyway, the sea creature reappears. The depth charges haven't done their work, so they decide to deploy all the mines, which is fantastic. Fantastic idea.
I put
down, if you ever feel like you're in a shit job, just remember that there's a man on each submarine whose job it is to count the number that's on screen aloud.
Because I noticed him and I thought, he'd do my head in.
Yeah, the thing is racing towards them, and he's
you put some popcorn in the microwave, he's there.
But that is a job that you can at least forget on a night. Like you go to sleep on a night, you're like, it's done.
The numbers come into your head again.
If you
is it like A Beautiful Mind?
If you miscount someone's popcorn, it comes out all burnt. Yeah. Oh, you'd be going home and your wife's like, "Oh, are you all right, Tony?" Just, Helen, I miscounted and someone's butterkist got all fucked up.
I burnt the Colonel's kernels.
But yeah, there always is a guy whose job is just to go 10 meters away, sir, constantly. And I'm like, it's on a big fucking display I can see.
There's jamming our signal. Raspberry Lone Star.
I also like the fact you went, deploy all the mines. Like in the mine room, there's like a 1, 5, 10, all
the mines. Capital letters, all the mines.
You got to lift a special cover over that one though to press.
Sir, we're going to need your key.
Are you sure it does mean changing the bulb? But yeah, they deploy these mines, it doesn't work. This thing attacks them some more, and then all hell breaks loose. Yeah.
Down to 800 meters, 800 to 900, which apparently is the limit of how far down a submarine can go.
Is it?
I'd looked it up and it seemed like that.
Very far down.
I've seen the Abyss. They go fucking loads down.
Well, 900 meters down.
Doesn't fuck about.
That's not a submarine. That's a DSU, a deep sea unit, which is designed to build in the pressure and stuff. It's not a thin metal cigar. Right, I thought it was more than 900 meters, but okay, whatever. It drags them down to this. They're fucked.
Sure, finally radios for help. It's not clear that that's done anything, though. So.
No, no one responds.
It's not a good captain. Nobody in this is really good at the jobs.
I think, again, it's the party boat, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
They were just razzing round and round the Devil's Eye, trying to get a whirlpool going, so they can suck other boats down there and then party with them. That's how you get it. Yeah. He radios for help. No one answers, and he's like, "Well, I've done as much as I can do."
I'm off for a smoke.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the cruise ship, littered with goons, that's having a funky time.
Oh, mate.
Goons?
So many just people having white dancing lessons.
Is this that Cuba Gooding Jr. Boat film with Playmate of the Year, Alicia Silverstead.
Alicia Silverstead.
Silverstead. Playmate of the Year, Alicia Silverstead.
That's basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Boat Trip. Perhaps.
Oh, yeah, that
rang a bell. Or is
yeah,
it the one with scrawny little Adam Sandler?
Oh, that's
Overboard.
That's his first one. Yeah.
All of those.
No, I think this was generic stock footage of like a cruise liner.
I didn't see Roger Moore on it, so I don't think it was.
I think they were just like, can we just use this like saga footage?
Can we use Costa Concordia as it crashed?
And then. But this was the really weird bit I didn't understand.
Room service turns up.
A maid comes into a room and is like, "Oh, dirty people! I hope they tip well." Lifts up a blanket which is full of shells, and then
bullet shells.
Bullet shells, yeah. I know you would see. Not mermaids, not mermaids bras, or pistachio shell, tiny horses. And then a woman just goes, "This is your tip," and shoots her through a towel.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she'd rumbled in on the Goon show going on.
In a wet towel. Hey, that's going to be bad for the casing, and I don't know how bullets work.
But none of these people actually have names. If you look at the credits, it's all like woman terrorist and woman maid and stuff. And I thought, it's a bit cruel.
Don't name them because they don't do nothing. They literally, you never see these people again. That woman we saw at the newsstand, do you see her again?
Nope. Just nameless Bulgarians they hired. Also, she's remarkable for having a Bulgarian accent, but her stream of consciousness is an American lady, which I thought was a bit odd. They've found out that it's an octopus back on the submarine. None of that cruise ship nonsense. That's just drifting on.
Dr. Sexy has said, "Look at that out of the porthole we've got, apparently." Oh, it's a barrel with toxic waste written on it. I wouldn't write that on it if I was dumping toxic waste in the sea. I'd put like free sweets or, And she's like, "Oh, I need a water sample. Can we do that?" And they were like, "Have we got any more Mexicans we can send out to gather some water?" They get it back, and it turns out that it makes sense now. The stuff that they dumped, they were trying to give to Castro, is a variation of anthrax. Yeah. It's a radioactive version of anthrax or something, which sounds like the most metal version.
I know I've not talked about it yet, but I've been to Cuba, and I don't think Castro gives a fuck. I honestly don't.
He was never going to invade the US or anything like that.
No, of course he was. He was just absolutely delighted to get rid of Tony Montana. You know, we've all seen that film. Yeah.
Anthrax delivery, Mr. Castro.
Oh, I've been expecting it. It's great. I'll dip my cigars in it. Yeah.
And Roy tells the captain and Dr. Hordy that Casper has escaped, and the captain just gives him a look of like, this is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
This and being attacked by an octopus, perhaps.
Oh, we've got two things to deal with. So then Shaw and Roy go on a hunt while the doctor goes to a lab. And as she does so, she gets her shirt soaked for no legitimate reason at all. There's a glass of water. There's a bit of a rumble or something.
Yeah, that's basically it, isn't it?
It's not just about tits anymore, Tim. Sorry. I made a space reference.
I knew I should have bought Big Fat Cocks.
Barney's lost it.
But Casper's there in the mirror as she turns around, and he gets her. He has this plan, and I thought it was like some sort of escape capsule. There is a submersible, as it turns out, but it's nothing to do with that. He wants her to release and this is where it fell down.
Location thing,
because it's a boy, and it appears on screen as a boy.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realise that Americans say buoy. And it just really cracked me up. She's released a buoy.
Would it have been better if you said she's released a boy and then just like a child ran through the shot and escaped up a torpedo tube? Because that would have been worse, I think. Yeah, it's
don't fire the torpedo.
It has the location of where to pick him up in, so that then when it gets to the surface, this isn't eaten by the octopus either. This is allowed to go free because reasons.
That would have been a shame if the octopus had just eaten it as it went past.
Like a lovely canapé at a Lord Mayor's reception.
As it apparently eats everything else anyway.
No, because we found out that when she discovers that it is the radioactive anthrax, that this is a 4th or 5th generation mutation caused by the toxic waste in the water, and it's anemic, which is why it eats all the meat people.
I don't think that's how toxic waste works.
Don't worry about it.
I mean,
that's the least of the problems with this film.
That's the Captain Planet style toxic waste, right?
As
you
a
fall
kid,
into it.
As a kid, and I probably shouldn't have watched it as a kid, but my mum wasn't a great mum. I was allowed to rent RoboCop a number of times at the age of 10, and I know what toxic waste does to organic characters. Take me with you. Take me with you. And funnily enough, now I'm in my 40s, I start to look like that. It is what it is.
I'm slowly turning into Quato from Total Recall. But yeah. But no,
Anyway,
I think it's slowly leaking out, so it's only tainting the water slightly. I'm trying to find reason in the film where there is no logical reason to find, aren't I? Really,
and that's where credit goes to this podcast.
But it's a 4th or 5th generation. This thing, because when she said it's anemic, I thought, it's pulling boats down to munch on the iron. No, that would be that would make sense, wouldn't it? No,
iron helps us play.
It's sinking this boat to eat the people on the boat, and then that's it. There's no other game plan than that. Fair enough. It's an octopus, although it has shown intelligence in avoiding mines and tricking people. It hasn't thought beyond that. I don't know.
And that's kind of fair. I mean, I'm quite interested to know what you know about octopuses, because my podcast is obviously all about learning about things, and I learned 3 key things about octopuses.
Don't they have like a brain in each arm?
Apparently so.
They have 2 hearts, or 3 hearts.
They do. They have 3 hearts, which is one more than Phil Collins in that Buster film.
One tentacle shorter than the others.
Yeah, that's the story of my life.
One's a cock one's a cock tentacle.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know why I'm doing this with my hand. Yeah, one's an appendage and a penis.
Which one? The really small one.
It's always the last one. Well, it's cold water, isn't it, in the Atlantic? It's always the last one you check.
Yeah, it is. They've got blue blood, apparently. Like the Queen, except unlike the Queen, they're not lizards.
All right, less of that.
You can train them to do menial tasks like open a jar, but after a wee sleep, they'll have forgotten it.
No, have I not?
They've got no long-term memory.
Apparently, they're starting to rethink that now.
No, the internet says it's not true, Joe. So shut up.
All right,
shut up on your own podcast.
They might just be pretending so they don't have to keep opening bloody jars.
Yeah.
Another one. No, I'm not doing
it. You eating?
It's constantly you're driving around town with an octopus in the back, just in case you get a call. Hello, jar busters.
I would be on
we
that.
Get one.
We've got communion. We need you to open these pickles.
We're okay. I've got Big Wayne in the back.
What is this even for?
Don't worry about it. Nobody, apparently.
Me next week.
No, but I'm sure I read a thing where a scientist in Germany, they had octopuses in these tanks, and he went in and fed this octopus the shrimp that he'd had in the fridge or something, and apparently he went for a piss and came back, and an octopus had crawled out, dumped the shrimp it didn't want on his desk, and then fucked off back. And I thought it could be someone playing a prank, but it sounds like an octopusy thing to do, like. Because they strike me as
like file stuff.
No, they strike me as intelligent.
Tray.
They strike me as intelligent, but also just like quiet about it. Like otherwise they'll be opening jars constantly or taking wallpaper off. I reckon if you got an octopus on the wall, you could do a whole wall in one go. Wood chip or whatever.
They're really good. They're really good at taking gardening implements and making their own gardens, as the song dictates.
Oh, mate. Have you watched the Beatles documentary?
No, I'm never going to watch the Beatles documentary.
It's quite fun.
I can assure you, if that was a Beach Boys documentary, I'd have watched it. I'd have had a day off work to watch it.
Yeah, only if it's the bit where it's about the drummer talking to Charles Manson. Yeah.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
No, but the bits in the Beatles one is where it's George, John, and Paul sitting there going, well, what if we use like a C major 7th chord? And it cuts to Ringo just sat there reading the paper at his drum kit. He don't give a fuck, mate. He's just like, hit stuff, tidy. Yeah.
He's a session drummer.
All the way through it. They're all having these conversations, and Ringo's not involved in any of it. He's just sat there.
And Ringo sat there going, what if I did a thing about some trains?
Even when like George Harrison gets up and goes, I'm going for lunch, also I'm not coming back. And Ringo just goes, bye. It's tremendous.
I can't watch 6 hours of that.
No.
I can't.
Get the highlights package. But yes, the octopus has mauled a load of people up.
Yeah,
now.
it's a renewed onslaught. I think the sub is sort of like on a jaggedy rock thing, and it's like being shoved further and further
it's
down.
taking in water.
Yep. Everyone apart from Brickman leaves their post, runs off. I don't know where. Where are they going to run to? They're on a submarine. There's nowhere to run to. So he
down
just
the other
sits
end. He could have gone and got them and just dragged them back. Tape him into the chair. Yeah,
the octopus is
run
there
off.
just slapping the back of the ship. It's
He's
very
having
funny.
a whale of a time with it, yeah. Probably with his penis tentacle. Although he has got about 14 tentacles, so I don't think it's really an octopus.
No. What's
'Cause
14
when it does
in
that-
Latin?
You're asking me, mate. Don't bust out. quick
It's a
Latin on me.
14-opus then. No.
40. 12.
Romaneus Domispus. Yeah, they all
Yeah,
run off.
yeah.
What the guy who was doing the countdown, I think, runs into the ketchup storage room, hides behind some name, and then there's like dun 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 dun, dun. And then I thought the octopus had killed him just through fear.
With a spare squid.
Turns out, that's what I was hoping was going to happen. Was that we were going to get a Dwayne Dibley situation. It didn't happen.
Sirs, I couldn't eat any more coffee. I've already had 5 bowls.
Any more raw coffee?
Raw coffee.
But yeah, he shoots himself. Brickman stays at his station, doing now because he can't
He
go
sends
anywhere.
out more cameras, doesn't he? He's just
To
out
find
just
out.
looking around. Yeah. Sees that it's like a ship graveyard of lots of different things.
Has Dr. Sexy come back yet?
Oh yeah, so they went and found her. She was being attacked by Casper. They capture Casper, and then he legs it. He like hides himself in a little vault, doesn't he?
Yeah,
And then
he just does a
like
bunk, doesn't he?
silent
Yeah.
scream behind it, which I
Yeah.
thought was really funny. I quite liked him as an actor.
I think at this point is where there's a really weird camera shot where it's from like down the end of a corridor while 2 people are talking. And it just goes, "Whoa," and then stops there. Like, what was that about? Like, he's supposed to be an action shot, and it's strange. Yeah, Casper's now making his way to the submersible. Is he?
Yeah, and the buoy.
Yes.
Still not used to calling it that. Appears on the surface near the cruise ship, activating the goons.
Yeah.
All the goons go mad on the cruise ship.
All the Manchurian candidates who were not
And somebody-
Manchurian candidates because they were all well aware of what they were doing. They've just been murdering
yeah.
for fun. It's like Hostel.
They don't really have a good rationale. One of them, anyway, says to inform the rescue helicopter that we have a herring, which is presumably code, or they do
What?
have a herring.
Or they really like, I don't know, fish.
If you were going to be a spy or like a spy thing, would you want to be the herring?
No.
No, you want to be like Barracuda or something, wouldn't you? I would.
Salmon.
You're in the ocean. There's no saltwater
I mean,
salmon.
The film would be named after me if I was the octopus.
Shark.
I mean, I'm not suggesting it's all about my busy hands, but you know, what's going on there?
In the post-Me Too era, it's not anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So they've sent these things out, and Dr. Sexy is like, oh, this is why this is happening, right? I get it now. And so they go, well, we need to escape to the recently announced open for business submersible at the back.
With its controls, which really made me laugh.
That everyone can steer with no training as well. An oceanographer can have a do at it. So they have to get to the back of the ship, but unfortunately, they have to go underwater through the engine room or some shit. Oh, also, the engine core has ruptured.
Yep.
Because it's
And
nuclear.
it's going to explode, and thus making it like the 4th or 5th explosion that we've had in this film so far.
It just keeps, but again, at this point, it keeps layering on like the hijinks, doesn't it? Like, we started off with just a bomber on board, and then we had octopus, and then we've gone like leaking, nuclear explosion, cruise ship danger. You know, it's good. It's ramped it up nicely to me.
Everyone, meanwhile, is dead of Octopus. Octopus is tangling around.
Everyone who isn't the main 4 of Roy, Captain Shaw, Dr. Sexy, or Brickman, who, let's face it, has survived longer than people normally do.
Not for much longer, though.
No, of course. They have to swim through some flooded area. Captain Shaw is like, I'll go first. If I'm not back in 30 seconds, assume I've made it. And I was like, that's a terrible
I know,
way.
yeah.
Because literally, he could go down that thing and just nom, 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 nom. Big Mouth could eat him up. And then it's
come
like,
along, yeah.
next.
This
like
really
that.
does become the Poseidon adventure at this point. There's swimming through bits.
Yes.
There's doing things, and it's been done a million times from a million different things, and it's shonky as fuck here.
It's that bit. Even Titanic 2 did it better when there was that corridor of electricity.
Oh,
Titanic
man.
2 being number 32 in the podcast.
Yeah, the monkey bars of electric, where the
It's that sort of thing. Last minute hurdle of trying
where
to get
the
through
electric
somewhere.
gains sentience and tries to attack Dick Van Dyke, isn't it? Yeah.
I would have died there, by the way. I've got to level with you. The monkey bars of things. I would have made it half a monkey bar with my weak child arms.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he manages at one point, and this is getting into the
Oh,
other
yeah, he
podcast,
goes
to
back-
jump off it and
He
back
jumps
onto
off,
it. or something.
one hands it, high fives a lady. Yeah, yeah. I thought you meant the holding your breath, because
Oh no, I'd have been all right with that. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not. I'm a fat biffer, but I'm not unfit.
I've got the lungs of a child sparrow, though. That's the problem.
We'll give them back.
No, they're mine. I fought them.
I fought and won that battle.
Captain Shaw and Roy get into the hole. And they swim off. And then
Roy.
Brickman and Dr. Sexy are there. And Dr. Sexy, for some reason, goes, can't get my suede trousers down. I'll just take them off and stand here in my pants.
No, do you know what it was? She never did her pajama survival swimming
Oh,
badge.
what do you reckon?
They
She
have to
wouldn't
take
know how,
pajamas off and inflate them.
how to tie a knot in the end and blow through the gusset. Yeah.
That's why she had to take a keck off.
But yeah, for no reason at all, apart from to just get some lady thigh on show. She dives in, starts swimming off. Brickman jumps in after her. About 20 seconds later, after he's gone through the pockets of her trousers.
They have to wait 30 seconds, don't they?
I don't understand. It makes no sense. They could literally have just fed that thing something every 30 seconds, like me at a Chinese buffet. Yeah. They all get through anyway, apart from as Dr. Sexy is about to climb up the ladder, she sees Brickman and he gets wrapped up in an incredibly long and thin and very articulated octopus leg. Tentacle, that's the word. And then he's dragged off over what feels like a very long time compared to later on when people are just getting smashed about. It's like he wanted them to know this. He wanted them to know fear.
Well, yeah, as we'll come to learn, the tentacle has sort of like set moves for different people. It's gotten to know them over the course of the film.
Yeah.
And exactly
It
what end is appropriate.
also can extend in length or contract at will as well. So that's a fun thing. They all get up into this submersible. Dr. Sexy. Where's Casper at this point?
Yeah, he's on there as well, yeah. He's there.
Is he
They
in?
all make orgasm escape faces.
Yeah.
Despite that, made me feel a bit uncomfortable.
And then the nuclear reactor explodes as they're getting out of it, just like a Bulgarian taxi.
Yep.
Just keels over and
Except with
bursts
less
into
accordion. There needs to be a bit more accordion playing at that point.
A lot more plastic white patio, 39 quid.
Correct.
Furniture thrown around underwater. Yeah. Again, right. There's two of these underwater explosions. This bit, they would have been vaporized, surely.
It's a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
Which, if anything, is just going to make that octopus worse. The last thing it needed was more radioactivity.
It's going to be Octopus and Son of Octopus is the next film, isn't it? Octopini.
There is a sequel.
Monster Island.
There is a sequel called Octopus 2, River of Terror, or whatever. Yeah.
What's he doing in a river? Surely he
We
can't
can't
live.
afford any more
Surely he
high-sea
can't live
stuff. We're going to
in
film it.
non-salt water.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, at this point also we've mentioned when they dropped those mines, he says, I'm going to make some calamari. And that's squid. Just pointing that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says something like, did you
Well,
bring any lemons?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
he does.
making
Yes,
calamari?
I'd made a note of. Did you bring lemons? Those aren't the same things.
No.
Like octopus, and as a man who likes when he goes abroad, likes to sample the fruits de mer.
You man,
it's
huh?
the same thing. Yeah, the same.
Blech, fish gross.
You're gross.
No, I don't need you to tell me
Podcast.
that. Unless you're doing it sarcastically, don't go on about it. They fly this, swim this submersible up, which apparently you could get about 52 people in this submersible as well. It's like Starbug. They get it up to the surface and they go, there's a ship. They get on this ship And
Gambling scenes, dancing happening aboard
Yeah.
the cruise
Oh,
ship.
yeah.
the saga free video you get if you order it.
Yeah, the captain meets with them, and the goons show up. Casper loves it. The tables, the turntables.
The turntables.
He hits Roy, and there's another bomb because, of course, there is.
He loves bombs, mate.
Bear bomb.
Just love it.
Yeah,
As I learned in the 90s, you can make a bomb out of anything thanks to the Anarchist Cookbook.
Yeah. There I go bombing again.
That's what that kid who got sentenced to reading Shakespeare and Jane Austen and everything. He had the Anarchist Cookbook on his.
He also had a lot of Nazi paraphernalia.
Oh yeah.
Don't gloss over that.
I had the Anarchist Cookbook, but fuck Nazis. I'm going to be entirely honest.
This podcast takes a firm stand on that.
Yeah, it's one of the few things we do firmly stand on is fuck Nazis. Yeah. I don't know where to go with this anymore.
The octopus appears and feels like it could do with a cruise and decides to mount the thing.
It starts wrapping itself around and pulling it down and tossing it left, right, and centre, apart from when it's internal shots, because we can't even afford to do the Star Trek thing of all running to one side of the room. So everyone's just like, oh, it's choppy.
Oh, Casper also says lovely jubbly, which I thought was a bit weird.
He does, yeah. Does his bellboy thing.
That's because the actor, though, he did study in Britain, specifically Wales, for a long time. So he must have just picked it up then. I don't think it was scripted in. I think he just improvised
Is there an uncut scene? Is there an uncut scene where he falls through the bar?
Octopus full-on mounts the boat as though trying to sire a smaller octopus.
Yep, it starts ripping people out. Several fires break out, CGI fires, and they come up with an idea. The helicopter starts. The helicopter appears and they're like, Roy's like, I'm going to take Casper down. And Casper's like, no, you won't. You've had infinite opportunities to kill me today, and you've done none of them, right? I'm not even that good. You're just terrible at your job. And he gets onto like a ladder and starts climbing up, and he's like, oh, you won't kill me. And even like Dr. Sexy's got a gun now, and she's like, I'll fucking shoot him.
Oh yeah, because she kicked a goon in the nuts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she goes, oh, my thighs are sore. And then, because everyone at sea is horned up permanently, he just looks down, and then she just boots him in the stones. And I'm like, she's got a gun. And she's like, I'll just shoot him. Like, it's like Austin Powers. I've got a gun in my room. I'll just come back now and we'll shoot him in the head. No, you don't understand, Scott. And then he doesn't even kill him in the end.
He says, I win, Roy, old chap. And then the octopus appears.
The octopus pierces through his
fatality.
Heart, fatalities him, drags that and the thing down in the end. And what does Roy say?
I don't know.
Oh, he says something like, not today, old boy. Or something like, it's something so bizarre. I meant to write it down, but I rewatched it at work, and it turns out I didn't save my notes when I quit out of it last time. So I've got like half a page of notes, and it stopped a long time ago.
The chopper explodes, because of course it does.
Everything explodes. Everything in Bulgarian waters is just made of explosives. It's a mistake to make this jet ski out of C4.
And then they remember that there's a bomb, so they've still got to deal with that.
Oh yeah,
there's an octopus and there's a bomb.
The high five.
Somehow these two problems need to get resolved.
And then Roy's like, no, what I'm going to do is take the submersible and just fuck about with the bomb underwater. And Dr. Sexy's like, sweet, tidy. Yeah, do that. Come here. I need to kiss you. And he's like, tidy. And then Captain Shaw's like, no, I should have said I'd do it. He's angry. Roy gets in the submersible, like, attracts the attention, but it's still attacking the ship and underwater at the same time.
It could have eaten the submersible when it went towards the ship as well. But at this point, it thinks, ooh, that looks tasty.
More iron on the ship. Because they try and lure it with some dolphin food or something.
Yeah, that's back in the mists of the film. It doesn't really make sense.
No, because how would it be able to smell it? Can you smell underwater?
Yeah, I think you can, because sharks can smell blood from like 3 miles away or something. Shark facts.
That's more of
I researched the wrong thing.
Taking over all the podcasts.
I had fucking shark fact. I don't understand what sharks are. I'm not getting into it, but so he gets the bomb and he's like, I thought it was going to be all like cool Independence Day. Hello, boys, sort of thing. But no, he just like hits an ejector button. He doesn't even do that. He just sort of falls out the side of it. And I'm like, you're at least 200 meters below the sea at this point, surely. If this octopus is that big, then you must at least get some sort of decompression sickness.
But also, the octopus was on the ship. It was like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But when he rams the boat into it, it's fully underwater.
Yeah,
Just taking a breather.
it's done enough.
Recharge my penis limb. Off we go. Yeah, it explodes. Dr. Sexy's like, no, where's what was he called again? Roy? Yeah, where's Roy gone? No, that was her. That was doing a bit. Where's Roy gone? And then he pops him out of the water and she's like, yay!
And he's
then
splashing about in the water for a bit.
Yep. He sort of surfaces and she necks the captain who didn't do anything.
I thought she was that was very disrespectful.
And I thought that was the point. Like, he surfaces, he sees them kissing, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And it extends. Like, they never know how to end these films.
Well, the baddie was killed. That's
that was his job was to get him back to Washington DC.
Don't worry about that.
We did see chunks of octopus flying through the water.
The first 30 minutes of the film, don't worry about that. You could literally have started watching this from 30 minutes in, and it would have been the exact same film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everything was explained to you. I did enjoy it, I will say. I thought it was better than some of the shite we've seen recently. So it is getting 2 silver Fabios.
Ooh.
I've got to be honest, I watched this after taking my wife to watch Bat Out of Hell, the musical.
I've heard of the hellscape that was, though. So.
And so this was Oscar worthy in comparison to that piece of fucking shit media. I would. I'm not going to lie with you. This gets 100 things we loved from film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100 things we love from film, and mostly because a lot of the effects and the matte paintings look good. I think the matte paintings look gorgeous towards the end of the thing.
The dying art.
Yeah, I love matte paintings.
Yeah,
I'm going to do similar. I'm going to give it Fabio's littlest tentacle. It's all it deserves. It was better than last week.
In what rare metal though?
Iron, because of the octopus.
Magnesium
would be on.
Oh, don't put the magnesium in the water though. We all went to school. We all saw that.
An explosion.
His B12
fizzing.
Honey.
What? 4 bronze Fabios.
4 bronze. I was annoyed.
It wasn't as good as Titanic 2. I really enjoyed Titanic.
At no point did nobody try and fix anyone with a credit card.
That is the standard, and it's not been met again.
Yeah, I think I know someone who is a paramedic, and I asked them, and they went, "No, that's stupid." Because of course it fucking is. Plastic has no absorbency for blood.
Yeah, but they tend to use masking tape in the industry.
Oh no, they were. If you listen to the Titanic 2, which is episode
32.
Have a day off, James.
They are in. Look, he's printed that out on his own, and he's done it in a big font as well. They do use medical tape because they are in the medical bay. Infirmary of one of the 4 attractions on that boat.
I might watch that film again. It was great.
Yeah, we'll do it live stream. It's on YouTube, so it's free. You can't get thingied for YouTube, can you?
Yeah, but you can by YouTube. You can get YouTubed. I don't know.
No, if you do it on Twitch, you can't get done off Twitch for showing YouTube shit, surely.
No, I don't think so. I think it's all got adverts in it. I'll do the adverts, you guys do the film. It's great.
I've seen a lot of people get tubed. Don't want to see another.
Brickman especially.
Does anyone want to have a wild stab at what the budget was?
I want to say $1 million. Wait,
$5 million.
I was going to say, when was this? 2000?
Yeah, so that's $8 million today, or about £6 million. It was released by New Image, who are now Millennium Media. They're actually doing pretty well for themselves. I think they did that Something is Rising film that you always see sort of like out there. It was shot in Bulgaria with a 36-day shooting time, which
that
is
long?
A preposterously short time.
For all the explosions.
6 days of that were putting a man in an old woman's makeup.
Stacking them watermelons. It has a sequel, as we said before, Octopus 2 River of Fear, which is described by one horror magazine as a waste of my time.
Which means it is a future episode.
And that's from a horror magazine, mate, as well. Like, they've got note going on.
Very low standard.
Well, this one was described as a concomitant mess on Wikipedia, so there we go.
Oh, someone's got a fucking thesaurus.
What was that first word? What the fuck is...
Concomitant.
Oh, sorry, I heard concomitant. What's an concomitant?
It lives out in the sea and
like a buoy.
Right, yeah, thanks, James. Yeah, cheers.
It just means that it sort of piles mess upon mess, like an unmitigated mess.
That's another thing I've learned today. That's great. Cheers.
Directed by John Ayres. I'd say directed, witnessed by John Ayres, who also directed a film called Irish Jam.
Yes.
2006.
Oh man, if that isn't about no, I haven't.
If that's not about taking an old man to the post office to get a dead man to the post office to get his pension, I don't know what it is.
Your own uncle. He was alive when he left the house.
Exactly. I wouldn't try that. I'm not some fucking young guy.
There's maggots in his eyes, mate.
Upon discovering that their town is up for sale, crafty Irish villagers scheme to raise the money to prevent the buyout. They hold a poetry contest with a tempting grand prize, a deed to their local pub. But what could happen when a duplicitous American rapper emerges as the best poet around?
Is it Ice-T?
Oh man,
Ice-T.
Busta Rhymes is from Morecambe.
Is it Return of the Mac? You knew that he'd be back.
It's got echoes of Fatal Deviation too.
The strange thing is about Return of the Mac, that was his first actual single release.
Yeah, and he's from Leicester.
Yeah, and he also got his lookalike to do his community service.
What? After tasering someone in a Leicester club?
I got a guy that looked nothing like him. He was just another black guy. And he thought,
well, you look now like him. You look now like him.
I'm proposing we do that film because it sounds.
Yes, please.
Please don't do that with me.
I want to hear some Irish rap. My name is Kenny, and I'm here to say
I've got the crack for all the days.
It's a limerick in an unfashionable way.
Break it down for your mother.
Oh, Jesus.
Fiddling
I
was going to say
intensifies.
I'm annoying so many people right now.
Okay, so I'd like to give Mark a few options here for what to do with the $5 million that you could have otherwise spent at that £6 billion. That would equal about 40,000 octopuses. It's very hard to find prices for octopuses online, and I feel like that's deliberate.
How large are the octopus?
But that's the thing. I mean, I googled this and it said that they can reach up to about $1,000. So I thought, oh right, I'm having some of them. But you can't find that. All you can find is like tiny little ones for about £147 each.
Before we move on, James, I'm a big lad. Can I eat those?
You could do what you please with it in the privacy of your own home.
Saturday is cheat day. Okay, continue.
Apparently, though, it's not really the cost of the octopus, right? It's the maintenance, because you've got to pump constant streams of salt water into that and keep it at like a steady temperature as well.
That sounds really hot, I've got to be honest.
Also, if an octopus does not like its environment, it can end up being stressed out, resulting in a refusal to eat and sometimes even eating their own arms. Which is...
Man, I'd lose loads of weight if I did that.
I've been there, to be honest. That time I went to Wales, fucking
I'm just going to eat my own arms to get out
I
of
assume
this.
you've been to Warrington at some point. I worked in Warrington for 5 weeks.
There's a very nice burger place in Warrington, though, so I won't let a bad word said against them. Yes, there is. It's the best burger place that Big Shirt Burger Club have ever been to.
There's 2 pubs.
There's also a memorial to an exploded boy.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, I walked past that and went, oh yeah, that happened. I've completely forgot.
I'd completely forgot you had a shopping centre.
Yeah.
Which you don't have anymore.
But there's literally one of the nicest burger places I've ever been to in Warrington. So
wow.
Dark side of the what's it called? Cafe at the end of the universe. If you want to sponsor us and give me free burgers, I'll be happy. Or corn dogs. Or just...
So sorry, James. So sorry.
Go on. I'm going to go and get another drink.
That's all right. So you can either have 40,000 octopuses or 300 Cameron Z210 hot air balloons, including envelope, full Nomex, and scoop. Because I thought, what better way to actually escape the water and have nothing at all to do with octopuses than to rise above the sea?
Okay.
So
I'm all about rising above, and you mentioned scoops. I'd assume one of them is Batman scoop.
I don't know what a scoop is
Batman
in terms of hot air balloons, but it is black. It did specify that. The Cameron Z210 hot air balloon. You can get 300 of them. That's at a price of about £20,000 each. And why not get them together, make a sort of like floating fortress, put bridges between them? There's a multitude of opportunities there.
Some sort of Mad Max in space. I'm all for that. Yeah, why not?
Or you could turn 1,000 people into elves.
Yes, that one.
Right.
Let's just do that. How do we go about that?
That's for you'll need £5,500 of your good money from this film, and you can get elf ear treatment for people. Apparently, there are some physicians that want to carry out the surgery, but think that this ear modification improves your hearing. A specific example is a Hungarian physician practicing in New York called Dr. Leos Nagy, I think it's pronounced, who's carried out the surgery first, and you can make sort of elf ears customized as well, depending on your canon. But due to the debate, it's not entirely accepted in the medical field due to risk that it brings ethical issues. So finding a cosmetic surgeon, it says online, to do the treatment may be a genuine challenge.
Yeah, but that's fine. We'll do that. We'll find Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick will figure that shit out.
I wiped them on my napkin.
It's Dutch.
Yes.
And well, there you go. Winning bidder of 1,000 pairs of elf ears over there.
Woohoo!
Sold.
Sold to the fat man in Carlisle.
The end of James Facts.
Thus, James Fax is spirited away to the deep once again.
All got too giddy. We've got a guest.
The guest is the one making us giddy.
Oh, what, accusations! Accusations!
We never go off tangent this much.
Oh, no.
Right, I've got a top, middle, and a bottom. We'll start with the bottom because it's from
Right,
Stevie
look
Boy.
here, Michael.
This is from Stevie Boy 666.
Number 6 in the Stevie Boy clan.
3 out of 10. This film should be sunk. What? An American submarine is attacked by a giant octopus, but there is also danger on the inside in the shape of a dangerous terrorist. Brackets, not helped by the most inept special agent in history.
Stevie Boy.
If you enjoy creature movies with dumb plot, bad acting, terrible scripts, and cheap, in inverted commas, special effects, then this one is for you. Otherwise, give it a wide berth. The only thing that I gained from watching this rubbish was a headache.
Mate,
Stevie.
did you see the world enslaved by a virus?
I was going to say, Stevie B, mate, you need to set your Stevie B06. You need to set your fucking standards somewhere, pal. Because you can't be like, if you enjoy this, it's great, but if you don't, it's terrible. I'm annoyed at Stevie B. I was with him at the start, but now he's got my goat.
I think he was expecting too much from it.
From Octopus, the film.
I was expecting some octopus early on.
I think he was expecting an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
As
even a
was I.
capital O.
Was
Is
it
it all lowercase?
I think so.
Let's have a look.
Octopus.
It looks like it's all in the same. Yeah.
They've used that
No,
font,
but it's
though,
all
haven't they?
capitals.
It's like papyrus font or something. That all looks the same.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Menaces.
Right. 5 out of 10 from Vomitron G.
Thank God. That's my rap name.
Your Irish limerick name.
I'm here to win.
Ramatron G, and I'm here to say
I'll win the gym festival in
octopuses.
every way. I bought the pub and now it's mine.
Monster movie fun with a giant octopus. A solid, and I do mean a solid 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
This
you
one
could call it a
isn't as bad as many say it is. Its rating on here is abominably, I can't say that word, low.
Abominably.
Yeah, thank you. Yet there are far more worse recent B monster movies out there. I mean, come on, people. It's a movie about a giant mutant octopus. Is anyone expecting Oscar material here? I do admit it takes a while to finally see Octopus in all its glory. About halfway through the movie, there's a few shots, and it's big. But the last 15 minutes, Octopus versus Cruise Ship, are just pure B monster movie greatness.
That's not the name of the film.
Oh, but it should be.
I could have called it Octopus versus Cruise Ship in the last 10 minutes. I'd have been like, okay, I know what I'm getting in for here. Don't lead with Octopus as your film title, as I'm choosing to read it from now on.
It even has a frozen frame at the end that should not have been there, except for keeping a B-movie tradition alive, which is him splashing in the water. In it.
You're the best around. Yeah.
And then the last one, Mr. Pivac 1985. I think he got very confused. He gave it a 10 out of 10 with the title disappointing.
Sounds a little bit Bulgarian.
No. That's 10 out of 10 disappointment levels.
I don't mean to sound like Nigel Farage here, but that name sounds a bit Bulgarian.
My name is Mr. Pivac.
I really like movies like this, monsters, ghosts, flesh-eating animals, that sort of thing. But this movie was so far from all of that. It was almost a comedy rather than anything else. I mean, put into one word, stupid, just plain stupid. Plain is spelled as in the aeroplane.
Nice.
Do not bother with this film, trust me.
What ghosts? What ghosts?
No, those are the type of films he normally likes.
He likes monsters, ghosts, and flesh-eating monsters.
Animals, flesh-eating animals.
Animals.
And apparently a giant mutant octopus just doesn't do it for him.
It doesn't appear till at least like 40 minutes in.
I mean, then you've lost your semi. Am I right?
No, it's not that. I mean, you've got the horny boat, haven't you? You've got the horny Bulgarian embassy.
Also, if you're looking at the video, the posters of it, and you've got the green octopus one, and then you've got the blue octopus with the little star in the O.
I liked them all.
Well, on that one of its tentacles looks like giant teeth at the bottom, like the octopus is really
did
grinning.
see that. Yeah.
It's proper smiling.
Oh wow, there's loads of different posters.
Yeah.
There's like a really good one where it's like octopus. There's like a blue light, white light behind it, and there's a man going "Ah!" at the top.
No, my favourite one is the one with the giant teeth.
I'm looking for the giant teeth now. Oh, there's one where it's just Agent Ray sat in the submersible on his own, staring deathly forward like he's been shot in the back of the head. Wow! Oh, that's the German cover.
Oh yeah, Krakenhaar. I can't. Nah, I'm not even.
It's probably
was there German shits with lemon piping?
Oh, if you keep scrolling, you can see the one for octopus too.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, River of Blood. Yeah, freshwater octopus, a new species.
Man, if there was freshwater octopus, I'd be fishing that shit all day long up here.
Is it sort of like steam paddling its way upstream?
Yeah,
we've already learned how difficult it is to keep regular octopuses in salt water. Imagine if it was in freshwater, it's just getting like actual human waste dumped on it every day.
It is part of the
Probably
4-film collection. So you've got Octopus, Octopus 2, Crocodile, and Blood Surf.
Ooh,
I've
what
seen
is-
Blood Surf.
What is
No,
Blood
I've seen
Surf?
Blood Surf.
Blood
Blood
Surf sounds
Surf
like
is another alligator film. It's like I'm
It's
sure
like
it's a
Blood Fist.
crocodile film.
But he's got 8 arms.
Everyone's using crocodiles as surfboards. Nobody thought this through.
No, I've definitely seen Blood Surf. I know the name. I know the title. It's a crocodile film.
Wow.
Yeah, it is from New Millennium or whatever it's called, and they did
I think
put
that's
out
one of their bigger
Mega
ones.
Shark versus Giant Octopus. They also put out my favorite film of all time, which is Shark in Venice.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen Shark Vs. Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus was mine and my wife's first ever film that we watched together.
You bonded over that, did you?
Well,
Just
no,
to-
we bonded over the fact that I'm really good in bed, but that'll kind of do. Yeah, why not?
At sleeping and sharing the duvet and that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really kind.
You just
I'm really
threw a
kind.
shoe at her forehead, and that was it.
I'm really kind at letting her go to sleep instead of trying to.
I'll
shag
just
her.
put my pants on your head as per the submarine tradition.
Our proud seafaring traditions.
I would, yes. And anyway, that is the end of this week's episode. It's
Thank
been
God.
4 hours long. I've got to now edit this, so that's fun.
And this was, I know. Come on, lads, let's have a short episode, eh?
If you weren't here, Mark, it would have been a lot shorter. But it would have been a lot less adverts. So, also, if you want to sponsor us, any of the adverts that were mentioned by Mark, we will take your money, spend it on gin. And
It's well spent.
yeah,
And jam.
I mean, spend it on gin, Irish jam, and
Submersibles.
It's an
one
Irish jam
submersible.
for-
One submersible, we can get us all in and just bomb around a lake for a bit. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Up at Coniston.
Yeah, right.
I say
We can-
up at Coniston, it's down at Coniston.
We
for
can
me.
find the rest of Bluebird and sell it on. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, that was 20,000 octopus.
It's broken.
I forgot even what this is about. 2000's octopus. Your favourite quotes from the film?
Lovely jubbly.
Did you bring any lemons? Because we're making calamari. I'll be back for breakfast.
I was personally a big
You
fan.
made that last bit up.
No, that was definitely there. I've got it written down here. I was personally a big fan of How's My Girlfriend because I'm a pedo.
Oh, stop.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, Mark, I guess I have to give you some time to fucking hawk your wares.
Nobody needs to listen to what we do.
I was going to say, if anyone's listening to you, I think they're probably listening to me as well, aren't they?
100 Things We Learned from Film. We are the podcast that constantly goes on about the fact that I've been to Cuba and tries to.
You've not mentioned that.
No, I don't. I tend not to. Tries to pick up 100 things that we learn from every film that we cover every week. It might be horror, it might be sci-fi, it might be currently Oscar bait stuff. I also do Everything We Learn from The Simpsons, where myself and my dear friend Tom talk about an episode of The Simpsons and try desperately to come up with all those references that Americans know that people from the north of England have no idea. He's from Leeds, he lives in Blackpool, I'm from Nottingham, I live in Carlisle. It's a shit show that usually involves murdering doctors. From,
a lot of references
Manchester.
to Peter Sutcliffe on the last one that I was not comfortable
Peter
with.
Sutcliffe gets a lot of references, as does Madeline McCann.
Yeah,
and, there's a lot of that shit. So get us on the internet.
I hear that you're circling around for another Crow revisit.
Yeah, we did The Crow as the first ever episode.
Just putting my services out there.
Yeah. No, well, look, we didn't want you for the last one. You were on for Bend It Like Beckham, and you brought a lot of cultural sensitivity to it, despite the fact that you're white. Good.
Yeah, but
Belch.
I like curry. I'm cutting all this. Right, fuck you.
Bye then.
Say goodbye.
Oh, sorry, I think recording ended.
Recording ended.
Can you please say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.
So I slapped the table in disgust.